Hi everyone, this is Eric Bond, the founder of Beat the GMAT, and thank you very much for spending your evening with us to learn about CEIBS. The presentation today is called A China MBA, Your Best Investment, and it's a great pleasure for me to introduce a very stellar panel of CEIBS representatives today. So some of you have already met Ivy Yang in the past in other Asia MBA webinars that we have done. Ivy is here with us along with her colleague Chen Wang, who is a assistant marketing manager for the CEIBS program. And along with Ivy and Chen, we also have 4 students, and I'll let them introduce themselves in a moment. So today we're going to have a very unique and really interesting session where in the next 45 minutes we're going to hear more about opportunities in China and learn more about the CEIBS MBA program. And Chen is going to be leading this session with input and some experience sharing from the students as well. So we're going to hear many different voices and many different perspectives in today's session. And after the 45 minutes, more or less, we're going to have a Q&A session for the last 15 minutes, just to round off the hour, where we will be able to answer your questions live. So be sure to ask your questions. We do have the ability to see them. On the right-hand side of your webinar panel, you should see an area where you can enter questions, and I will be monitoring those questions and passing them along to the CEIBS team for Q&A at the end. One final note before I hand it off to the team is the CEIBS folks have told me that they have allotted an additional 30 minutes or so after the session to answer your questions on the CEIBS MBA Watch page, their chat wall. So let me go ahead and actually share that link with everyone here. You can go to the CEIBS page after this session, and if we can't get to your question live during this session, a CEIBS person will be able to answer your questions for about 30 minutes after the session ends at the CEIBS comment wall. So be sure to check that out. That being said, Ivy, Chen, and CEIBS students, it's very nice to meet you, and thank you so much for coming to today's session.
Thank you, too. Thank you, Eric. Please allow me to introduce myself first. My name is Chen Wang, and I'm from Shanghai, China. I'm from CEIBS Admissions Office. And first of all, good evening, California. Good evening, everyone. And so
good evening. Good evening.
So today I'm really happy to be here together with my colleagues and our current students. And actually, we are just going to have our Chinese New Year holiday in a week, so I'm really excited right now. But still, we have to work first. So today we are here to present you a new Asia, a new China, and moreover, a China MBA. Please let me introduce my colleagues and the students. So, Julie.
Thank you, Chen. Good evening, everyone. My name is Julie Chen. I'm actually from San Francisco, California, in the United States. Just a little bit about myself. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in managerial economics, and I worked for over 5 years in the consulting industry. I actually started my journey at CEIBS about 7 months ago, and my career goal is to get into marketing industry in China. I'm currently an active ambassador for the school, and I am very pleased to meet you today. I'm going to pass this over to Cheryl.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cheryl Chitayat. I'm from Montreal, Canada. I did my undergraduate degree at McGill University in Montreal, and I studied civil engineering. After that, I moved to the UK, where I was working in a consulting firm for 3 years in London. And I am also an MBA 2010 candidate, so I just started here at CEIBS in July, doing the Chinese pre-course because I didn't speak Mandarin, and I still don't speak very well. But and I'm also a student ambassador. Very excited to answer questions today. I'll pass you over to my colleague Hugo.
Hi, I'm Hugo from Marseille, France. I've been undergraduate in Spain in economics with a major in finance. Then I've been working for the last 5 years in Shanghai, China, and I'm in the same class with Sheryl and Julie. And my goal right after the MBA would be to work in the consulting industry. And we'll be with Sheryl at the end of the presentation of CEIBS to answer to your questions. Now I'm passing over to Daniel.
Hi everybody, I'm Daniel Spira from Lucerne, Switzerland. I'm very, very excited to be here at CEIBS. So I have an engineering background, graduated in microengineering. I have 7 years of work experience, lately working as project manager in the machine industry. And I came here to CEIBS to get to know the world of business. Of course, also the exciting culture in finding also to make create new international friendships. So I'm also proud to be a student ambassador here at CEIBS. And by the way, also after this webinar, you can find all the student ambassadors on our website and ask us questions. Okay.
Hi everyone, this is Ivy. I'm so excited to meet you all through the GMAT platform for the second time. We did one for the Top Asia Business School, I think 1 month earlier. So very excited to be here with our students as well, and we'll be more than glad to answer your questions regarding CEIBS program. A very brief introduction of myself. I've been with CEIBS for 4 years, and I'm the marketing manager of the MBA program, and also I'm involved in the admissions and so now I'm going to pass the microphone to my colleague Roy.
Yes, my name is Roy. I work in the MBA marketing department. I'm a recent arrival to CEIBS, and quite honestly, you can feel the energy in the air, not only in China at the moment because of all that's going on, but also at the CEIBS campus itself. And within a year or two, we're going to be doubling in size, our physical size in terms of the campus. So there are many, many new things changing here and growing every single day. And I'm glad to be part of it, and hopefully you will be too. So we're here for you, and let me pass it on the mic. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Roy. I can really feel your excitement about China and Shanghai. Today's agenda. Well, actually, it's the second time that CEIBS is doing the webinar together with the Beat GMAT, and it's the first time for me to be the panelist for the webinar. So, as for me, I don't do webinar very often, so I'm just trying my best to host this session very well. Okay, so as you already know, that today's topic is why MBA in China, and it's how it become your best investment, probably best in your life. So let me just give you some idea first about the economics in Asia and also in China. So I've already, in this slide I've listed, excuse me, in this slide I've listed data. I just want you to know that the economics of Asia so far is very promising, and it's still growing very fast. For example, by 2030, Asia's GDP will exceed that of G7, and now currently Asian billionaires have nearly doubled in past 2 years. And so I'm just listing those data to see that how an MBA in Asia will give you a great understanding of Asian business, and also it can help you to develop your career in Asia. And if you want to really experience the developing Asia, you actually really need to live in Asia, study in Asia, and build your network here in Asia. And well, this is probably something you can't do, can be done through a study tour or even a semester, 1 semester like exchange study. So in Asia, what can help you? We can help you to develop a great understanding of your Asia business, and not just case studies, but also meeting senior executives who are involved in Asia business, and also visiting companies, work on projects within company in Asia. Also, this also allows you to build your stepping stone to kick off your career in Asia. Also, well, basically speaking, an MBA in Asia was probably, it's a better value for money. So why? Well, among all those Asian B schools and MBA programs, why you should choose a China MBA? There are also some, many reasons for that, and I've listed some main reasons we consider is most valuable for you. And also, I also want to list some main data here. And so far, China is already the world's second largest economy, and our GDP growth, the average of the GDP growth is like 11.2% in the past 5 years. And now China is already the top 5 biggest outbound investment economy and the top 2 foreign direct investment receiving economies. And China will sure to be a top international investment destination in 2012. And also currently already more than 60% Fortune 500 companies, they have their headquarters and investments in China. So this will sure give you a very promising career future if you are considering working in China, working in Shanghai. Also for those entrepreneurs, so we heard a lot of stories from our not just students, also our alumni. They are already starting their entrepreneurial stories in Shanghai, in China. And we have also statistics on our MB 10 students who are just graduating from our school. It says that 20% of our students, they are entrepreneurs, and they are still doing they are still owning their own business. Okay, second part is about MBA briefing. So you want to ask why you should choose CEIBS MBA program as your for your choice in Asia, in China. So we are our new dean John Crouch, who is previously working as a dean for London Business School, also previously as a senior VP in Harvard Business School, says our new mission is China Depth Global Breadth, because we have the great people, great education, great career support, and we are also locating in Shanghai, China, which is very great location, which is sure to be the future financial and shipping center in Asian Pacific area. Here are some rankings regarding our MBA program. The newest ranking is we are ranked #1 MBA program in Greater China region by Bloomberg Business Week and British QS Association. They joint published this ranking just last December, and we were ranked #1. And at the beginning of last year, we were ranked number 17 at the full-time global MBA program by Financial Times. And this year's ranking is going to be released pretty soon, I believe, at the end of this month. And we will also rank number 5 as a top 9 U.S. 2-year MBA program by Forbes last year. Due to some data by last August, we have a total number of 60 full-time faculties, and this number is still increasing. And our faculty are coming from very different countries and very different cultures, as we can see from this table. And they have something. They have very different opinions, and as I said, they have very diverse background. But they have one thing common, is that they're basically all the same in their researching areas. And as do some rankings, we were ranked number 13 globally in international faculty by Financial Times last year, and it's already we were already ranked top 15 globally for 8 consecutive years. Okay, let me just introduce our student body. As you can see from the pie charts, they are also very diverse, from a very diverse background, and the majority are from finance, accounting, and marketing, sales, BD, strategic planning, and project management, consulting, and the top industries and top functions, and their position level is before entering CEIBS, like middle management, junior management, senior professional. Okay, some key data regarding their job. We're kind of admitting 200 students every year, and for the MBA 2011 class, they're coming from 21 different countries and areas, and 30% of them are female, and only 30% of them are get married, and 40% is like international students, which means 60% are from mainland China. And 5 years work experience. Average GMAT is like 692. So far, we have alumni worldwide. The total number is 11,000 alumni worldwide, and still annually adding 1,000 alumni. And they're including our eMBA students, EDP degrees holders, and of course our MBA alumni. Our MBA is starting from 1995, which is actually the longest running English MBA program and continuous running English MBA program in China. Well, just some basic information about our curriculum. We have 3 concentrations, which is we are general management MBA program. We also have the concentrations on finance and marketing, and we have language courses for optional language courses: Chinese, French, Spanish, and we have 2 big consulting projects, which our student Julie is going to cover this later, so I'm not going through very detailed information about this. Okay, now I'm very happy to pass microphone to Julie, who's going to introduce some detailed information on academic life from her point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Chan. Hi, everyone. Today I'll be giving you a little bit of more insight into the academic life here at CEIBS. Hopefully I'll be able to incorporate some of my personal experience as well. So first off, just going to jump right into the MBA curriculum features. First, one thing that I do want to point out is that CEIBS is China focused. So the courses that you will take will not only cover key fundamental business skills that you'll learn from other MBA schools, but will also provide specific examples and knowledge pertaining to doing business in China. Now the reason why that's important because of the popularity of the booming economy within Asia, as well as all the potential businesses and entrepreneur examples that are happening as well as in Asia. So having global perspective as well as a local understanding. So global perspective meaning how is China working with other countries, also how are businesses within China doing and how are they successful. Also, it focuses on strengthening your soft skills, which are actually very essential for becoming a successful leader. Now this is done through teamwork, group events, case studies, and so forth. And I'll go into more details on that in a little bit. Cross-functional integration of the curriculum. So what this means is that courses that you will take will be well integrated with other courses as well. So take, for example, my first term here. I took an economics course, which I applied to my marketing course, and from there applying those lessons to cases and projects. For many of those that want to be an entrepreneur, we do have many courses for that. In addition, there's so many different classmates that are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs, so being surrounded in that type of environment is very, very appealing and lots of opportunities to learn from there. In terms of flexibility, you can finish the whole course under 2 years. So again, being able to manage your time the second year, either going on exchange or taking on an internship. So good flexibility there if you decide that you want to start your new career early on, or if you want to take on a, jump into a different path and not spend too much time in courses and on your MBA. Here's a picture, example of a class schedule for a week. Not too much details here to digest. It's basically showing that, of course, like all MBA classes, you will be busy, but you will be given time to work in teams and working on projects as well. The courses are taught with a combination of both lectures and a case study approach. So many of the courses that you will be taking, you'll be reviewing cases, both a combination of Harvard Business School cases as well as CEIBS cases. It's a great opportunity to really apply your analytical skills, your leadership skills, and really challenge yourself in solving real-life business issues. Again, also understanding some of the cases that are involved with China companies, so understanding that perspective as well. Especially for those that want to do business in China or work in China, it's very interesting to read some of these cases and understand how these businesses are successful or some of the downfalls that they experience. At CEIBS, we do believe in class participation. It's very important and actually is a percentage of your total grade. It is a way to encourage you not to only share your experiences to your classmates, given that there's so many different diversities amongst the students in terms of education or industry experience, but it's also a way for you to challenge yourself to be able to articulate your viewpoints effectively and being able to defend those viewpoints. With that, I want to turn to this slide. CEIBS will provide many resources in order to help you achieve your career goal. There's the library, there's amazing faculty, your network of classmates and alumni. There's also plenty of extracurricular events for you to participate in, many different clubs as well. Also, remember, I do want to point out the initiative is key. So although these resources are out there and made available for you, it's up to you to take that initiative to utilize these resources. One great example of some of the resources that's being provided at CEIBS, take for example the HTC Chief of Operations Officer came, I would say about a week ago, to provide some insights on how they were able to make it in China as well as expand across the globe, how they made HTC such a strong brand, moving from being an OEM more into promoting their own brand and promoting their own products. At CEIBS, you will have classmates and alumni and staff and professors there that you can learn from. As an international school, you're actually surrounded, like I said earlier, from a lot of diverse people in terms of business experience, industry experience, and culture. Just from the introduction itself within this room, we have people from Canada, the United States, France, and so forth. We have so many people across the world. In the previous term, actually, we were put into groups, and I had the opportunity to work with someone from Singapore, Japan, and China, and I had the opportunity to really build some great friendships with folks in Spain, India, and the list goes on. In a global world, language really does matter. So in order to help you succeed in this global world, CEIBS will provide students with free Chinese lessons. So for those of you that are worried about not having Mandarin skills, don't worry about that. There's great lessons out there provided for you. All the classes are taught in English, but this is the opportunity to expand your language and your diversity in terms of your skills. For those of you that already know Mandarin, they also provide free French and Spanish courses too if you really want to pick up a third language as well. So here's a picture of a typical classroom setting. As you can see, it's very interactive and engaging. Moving on to teamwork. As you can see from the picture here, there's a lot of people that do participate in case competition. So this is just an example of some of the work that we'll be doing. It's participating in case competitions will provide you the platform to really apply and showcase your skill sets and be able to compete with other schools as well. A big portion of the academic life is really working in teams, preparing for course homeworks or preparing for presentations. From this, you'll be able to really, focus on time management skills, interpersonal skills, as well as learning from one another. Like I stressed earlier, it is the diversity and the international exposure that really makes CEIBS stand out. You'll be able to understand each other, especially those that that already work in China or grew up in China. You'll get real direct interactions with those folks to learn about how businesses run here, as well what are some of the opportunities for some of you that are international students to really live and work abroad. Expanding outside of CEIBS, we have partnered with a lot of other distinguished schools, giving you the opportunity to really go on exchange and further expand your network and your exposure to other areas. Here are just some of the small portion of schools that we work with. We also work with schools in Singapore, Japan, and so forth. So really expanding your exposure outside of not just the United States, Europe, and Asia. Some more information about the exchange program. Again, we have over 30 exchange schools worldwide. The tuition fee is actually waived due to the mutual exchange that we have with the other schools. And just to give you some perspective, we had about 105 exchange students joining CEIBS in last year, and we had about 92 that decided to go on exchange across the world. So not only will this increase your networking opportunities from interactions with those exchange students, but really if you decide to go on exchange, to understand how MBA schools are like out there, and also building other relationships there as well. So that's my part for the academic life. I'm going to hand this over to Daniel now to provide you some insights about social life.
Thank you very much, Julie. This is Roy. Before I hand it down to Daniel, I just wanted to add a couple of things, if you don't mind. Guys, I know this is kind of an inflection point in your life. You're going to be making a decision and asking yourself, should I really do a China MBA compared to something in the U.S. or Europe? And I think it's very, very important to talk about the point that China is different in the sense that life is changing around you. For those of you who haven't been here, this is literally a laboratory in the making. Things are changing every single day, and that stuff translates into your academic life. Whatever you're going to be reading and understanding in your cases, you're going to be seeing happening around you. Brands are constantly coming in from abroad and building up the market. Companies are doubling and tripling in size within questions of months, both internet companies and bricks and mortar companies. So things are changing constantly, and this is an environment that will challenge you every day that you are here, and your future employers, both here or abroad, whether you decide to go back to your home country, definitely understand this. I think this is an important differentiation point when considering the academic curriculum here and what you're going to be learning and studying and seeing around you. And that makes it much more exciting and also much more relevant today, more than ever, for the job market. Okay, and now I'll pass you, Daniel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy. Okay, hi, this is Daniel again. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the social life here at CEIBS. I think it's important to understand that doing an MBA is not just getting to know, of course, the world of business, but it's also about people. It's not just the network. I mean, network is not just a collection of business cards, but it's actually about people, about friendships that you build. And I think the school does really a great job of giving us a lot of opportunities to do that. So let's look at this. So I'll go quickly over all the different aspects of the social life. So first, the school gives you the possibility to get a mentor among the EMBA students. You know, there's several hundred EMBA students here at CEIBS, and they will come every week, also especially during the weekends. So you will be able to meet actually people who work here in China. A lot of them speak also English, so you will get actually a real life experience. What is it like to do business here? Then we have also the Student Ambassador Program, which we four are a member of. This program, of course, will give you the opportunity to get to know student applicants from all over the world, but also to meet media and lots of other people. Besides that, we have more than 40 student clubs here at CEIBS. I will get back to that a little bit later. We also do quite a lot of international business competitions. Also great opportunities to actually get out of the campus and meet other people from other universities worldwide. And then the school also organizes seminars and a lot of events, which is really great here. And then we have a couple of flagship events like the BGRC, the Being Globally Responsible Conference, organized every year. Innovate China, getting more and more famous. Then Shanghai Night, one of the big parties organized on a boat, and also the Green Campus initiative, which led actually to us being one of the first carbon neutral campuses in the world. Okay, so I think before I get actually to talk about the student clubs, let me maybe also talk a little bit about how you feel before you arrive here in China. Again, as Julie said, the school organizes a 1 month intensive Chinese pre-course. So this will not only give you the opportunity to get into your Chinese language skills, but more importantly, actually, to get to know already a lot of people coming from abroad and getting to know also your environment in I would say low-profile environment where you don't have a lot of obligations during these 4 weeks. So this is really a great opportunity that the school organizes, and I really strongly recommend actually for everybody coming from abroad. So I think when you arrive here in China, don't be scared. I mean, of course it's a different environment than in the West, but it's still actually also a very international city. So you won't be completely lost. You will see. I mean, Chinese are people like us. I mean, they go out, they have dinner, they have parties. So it's really great to be here. And what I really appreciate is how warm the people are, and how they engage with you, and how they're also interested to get to know you and different cultures. So let me get to the student clubs. As you can see, there's 3 parts of it. There's the professional clubs, where you can actually engage with people interested or coming also from different backgrounds of professions, like the healthcare club, there's the automotive club, finance club, so all different activities. And then, of course, you have free time activities like a dance club if you like dancing. We have even a luxury fashion club. We organize some fashion shows at the school, which is really very exciting. We have the music club, which will give you also the opportunity to enhance your singing skills if you want to participate to some KTV events, which are very popular here in China. But we also have the wine appreciation club, you know, just sit there and enjoy a good glass of wine. And of course we have the sports clubs. We have a gym here at the school, and so you will be able to play badminton, basketball, or whatever sports you are interested in. Of course, you also have the student body has the possibility to create new clubs. If you find enough interested people, you're free to create your own club. So again, the club activities will be parties, of course, but there will be also trips organized to visit different companies, which is a great opportunity, of course, to get to know people from the professional life here in China. But there's also trips organized for some, which is the biggest wholesale market in the world, close to Shanghai. It's really very exciting to see that. There's also different workshops and lectures organized by the club. Another part of the social life and activities we organize is contests and competitions, like I mentioned shortly before. So this is a great opportunity, of course, to get to know people from different universities, not only here in Asia, but really also we go to competition in the States and also back in Europe. I've participated at the Odyssey competition from New York. So I just get to know that I won the competition here at the school, so I'm very happy to be able to travel to New York coming March. So I think that will be a really great opportunity to get to know new people. Well, of course, we're students, so we like to party also, and believe me, there will be possibility to do that here in Shanghai. Shanghai is a multi-million city, so you can imagine there's also a lot of possibilities to do clubbing. But I think it's not only clubbing, it's really also the student body organizes a lot of events among the students. There's, for example, country dinners we organize, like a Spanish dinner or Taiwan dinner. We had also Thailand Thai dinner. So really to get to know also the different culture and different food of all the different student communities we have here. So I think that's really a great possibility also to get to know the different cultures we have here. I think really have a very diverse student body here, which is certainly one of the unique points, I think, of CEIBS. Then as a last point, I think also worth to mention is that the school organizes a lot of executive events. We have a lot of CEOs and board members coming visiting CEIBS regularly, normally at least once a month. We've had, for example, the CEO of Ford China or the CMO of TE visiting us. So I think these are also great opportunities to get some insights of these companies, how they do business here in China or worldwide. And it's also a great opportunity to ask questions, get some personal insights, and also do some networking, of course, after these events. We also had, by the way, some dignitaries visiting us, like the former EU President Romano Prodi. And I think that the school really does a great deal by organizing events. I think we have like every week at least 1 or 2 events bringing in companies to the school. So you really, as a student, also you can take advantage of that and follow this great flow of people which will come to the school. So I think this is really very specific to CEIBS. You feel the beat of life, how life is really ticking much faster than at any other place in the world. Okay, having said all that, I think I will pass over to Chen again to talk about the professional development here at CEIBS.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Wow, really a lot of parties and club activities going on campus. So, Daniel, I have a question for you. Do you party a lot?
Yeah, well, regularly, of course. You know, go over to the other side, go have a drink, or you know, just have a drink around the school, or go on some club activities where we also have some specific parties, like you know, significant other clubs, cooking some dumplings and you know, doing some games, card games with the Chinese friends. Yeah.
So do you find any difficulties in balancing your study and party, or club activities, forums, or those kind of things?
Well, I think, of course, you will be a little bit challenged to organize your free time. You know, there's a lot of school things going on, but I think you still get a lot of opportunities to do also extracurricular activities. So, be it doing some sports or, like I said, all kinds of club activities. Where we will get to know people and you know, not just get to know people in the classroom, but actually really get to know people personally in a more relaxed context. Also smaller groups and joining some common interests, of course. So yeah, there's really a lot of opportunities to do that.
Okay, good to know that. Well, I just from okay, this is me again, Chen Wang from CEIBS Admissions Office. I just want you to know that in China you are allowed to smile, and in Shanghai you are allowed to party and dancing. And at CEIBS there's more to that, and you are allowed to have your own forums, conferences, and you can speak up for yourself. Well, now I'm going to go back to my part again, and the major difference between my introduction and Julie's and Daniel's is that they are very personal. They're personal information sharing. From my point of view, it's more official, I guess. And so if you are bored with my introduction, what you can also do, I would recommend you to go to our website, www.ceibs.edu. Find our MBA program, and you will also find our brochures and for both MBA program briefing and our career services in PDF files. It's downloadable for free, and we'll find fancy pictures and data there. Okay, now we are going to the next part, our MBA program, the professional development. How you develop your career by having a CEIBS MBA. So from the very first day when you enter in CEIBS, you will have your own counselor from Career Service Team, what we call CDC, Career Development Center. And you can see they have various modules and ways to help you to develop your career by having an MBA, such as career assessment. And they have their own ways of testing how is your career potential, and then they would have the one-on-one career counseling for you. They're from very different backgrounds, like for example consulting, marketing, FMCG, energy, finance, IB, those kind of areas. So they're basically the experts. They have a extensive experience from those industries, and also Also, you can have the internships during the summer break. We also have having a online database for your CVs, and we do also mock interviews, all those kind of tools to help you to mature yourself and prepare you well for the future career development. And well, due to some Financial Times data, maybe I think students from Europe are more familiar with this media, FT. Well, we were ranked number 2 worldwide in salary percentage last year. Okay, I just saw some candidates are asking about our recruitment situation, especially for international students. Well, I have listed some data here. For the class MBA 2011, who graduated last year, beginning of last year, we have 182 graduates, and actually last year's recruitment situation was pretty good, and our CDC team invited 430 recruiting companies to recruit our students. You can see we have the 1,589 job postings, which means for every single student there are 8 job postings available. And the placement rate, the average salary is not bad, and actually, yeah, sure.
This is where I just would like to add, last week we had a career fair, and I think it should be clear to everyone, especially with the current crisis that's going on in Europe and also the problems in the U.S. in terms of the job market. In China, there are jobs. There are a lot of jobs. The career fair was just full of companies offering positions, and quite honestly, there's even a lack of talent, meaning there's a big demand for people like you in all different fields, whether it be manufacturing, finance, IT, and the salary range are extremely interesting. And for you deciding to work and live in China, just know that the cost of living here is very low, and the salaries that you get will enable you to have an excellent quality of life should you decide to stay here. Should you decide to go globally, and Chen obviously will talk about this, there's enormous amount of global companies that are stationed in Shanghai, that are based in Shanghai for their Asian activity, and so the jobs are here. And this is probably the best place in the world at the moment, without a doubt, if you're looking to continue in your career and expand in your career goals. Just wanted to add my
Thank you, Roy. Thank you for your information.
Well,
due to some last year data, half of the international students, they eventually choose to stay in China for their own career. Okay, top 4 industry, top functions, like they choose after graduations like finance, industrial products, technology, telecom, consulting services, and functions like finance, accounting, BD, marketing, and consulting. Okay, I have some logos here, typical of our recruiting companies. I think our MBA programs is a bit different from we are differentiated. What we differentiate from other MBA programs is that we are general management programs. I know there are many MBA programs in especially those top MBAs. They are specifically having training their students for example, like consulting industry or finance industry, but we are different. So that's the reasons why you can see all those industrial giants like like IBM, Bosch, GE. They're coming to our campus and recruiting our talents, especially for their global programs like global trainee programs, who are usually used to only recruit from top U.S. programs. Now they come to Asia, come to China for looking for CEIBS talents. Okay. We have also some interesting data regarding our. It's a 5-year tracking for our 2004 alumni, which means they are the 2004 to 2006 class. You can see the difference before entering CEIBS and after CEIBS MBA. they mainly move from analysts, consultants, system managers to directors, people managers, CEOs, GMs, vice GM. And the function change. Well, I believe Daniel has already talked about the mentoring program, so I'm not going to talk more about this. Okay, I think I'm just going quickly through the application process, and so then we're going to have enough time for a Q&A session. So we are to apply for CEIBS MBA. We are a round-based application process. The first round's already passed, and the deadline for submit documents for applications, the deadline for second round is February 2nd. And the third round is the end of March. So in order to apply for CEIBS MBA, you need to have a bachelor's degree, a GMAT score no less than 600, and at least 2-year full-time work experience. So you need to submit your application docs online, and we will also send us your GMAT score, so we will review your materials, and if we find you are qualified for a further application, so we will invite you for a CEIBS interview. For international students, the interview will be like Skype interview, so which means will be done via online software. So the interview will be like 25 minutes, and 2 interviewers are combined with the admissions managers, faculty members, MBA doctors, even our alumni. So those kind of combinations. So after that, you will be doing the final evaluation. We will give you every single one of the score. So to decide admit or not, or scholarships or not. Okay, I have just some new data regarding the costs, which is from Points and Quants. I found it quite interesting, so I just listed here. So compare the CEIBS with the top 20 USB schools. The monthly average difference is like this. And if you divided this into 2 parts, which is tuition fee and monthly living expense, you can find, especially in the monthly living expense, there's a huge gap, huge difference. Oh, well, of course, it's just an average data. It really depends on your personal style. For example, if you really want to travel a lot, party a lot, then it's going to be different. So scholarships, if you are asking, if you wonder if it's possible to lower your cost to study an MBA in China, or if it's almost for free to study CEIBS MBA, my answer is yes. We do have various scholarships available for not just the local students, also international students. For example, what you can see, especially this year, we are adding some very different scholarships like CEIBS Excellence scholarships, merit scholarships, and especially also women leadership scholarships and entrepreneurship scholarships to encourage the talented female students and entrepreneurs to study a China MBA. Also, we have also the sponsored scholarships provided by our, of course, sponsor partners. We also Shanghai government is offering us some Shanghai government scholarships, and the CASA Asia are typical kind of scholarships for Spanish students. Okay, if you have a question, what kind of students we are looking for? Of course, we are looking for students with the language ability and also career potential, because we are training professional managers. We're training the talents of those consultancies and financial giants are looking for. So also we require students to have a proven academic ability, because we're going to have a lot of courses and projects to do. So you got to have this ability. Otherwise, you're not going to survive in the groups. Also, we strongly looking, especially looking for candidates who are fitting the CEIBS culture. The culture what I'm talking about is okay. Let me just list some criteria here. Typical like responsibilities, because we are a social responsible business school. We want to train the talents with this high value of social responsibility, also leadership potential. Also, we are looking for the students with the international mindset who are able to be placed internationally. Okay. So in order to contact CEIBS, I have some channels for you to contact us, such as info sessions, campus tour, or you can just simply pick up the phone and call us and send us emails. And also, every year we are going to different parts of the world, going on World MBA tours and the MBA tours. I think probably you are familiar with that. So you can meet us also this year, also for sure in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, also in Europe. Okay, I think now we have kind of half an hour for the Q&A session. So, so let me see, what's the first one?
Great. Well, thank you so much, Chen. This is Eric just jumping in again. So the way that the Q&A is going to work, we have sort of two parts for it. The first is there's going to be an opportunity where Ivy, who is on the call as well, is going to be looking at some of the questions that you had sent in and selecting a few to be answered live during the session. And we should have probably about 10 or 15 minutes for that available, depending on the availability of our panelists today. And afterwards, we should have some time when we're done with this webinar where the CEIBS representatives will be hanging out at the CEIBS MBA Watch comments wall. And I can send a link for that right now just to remind you where that is. And here is a place where you can chat with some of the panelists after this session to get your answers to your questions if we can't get to it on time. So all that said, Ivy, I'm going to send it back to you, and you can lead this portion of the Q&A.
Okay, thank you very much for introduction, Eric. Thanks for everyone. I have seen so many wonderful questions listed on this Q2 webinar. So now me and together with our students, we're going to answer some typical questions or some very general ones from you guys. The first one is from Mark. He asks about the GPA. Is there a minimum GPA for admissions to CEIBS? Well, Chen has just mentioned that we're looking for four areas of criteria. And one thing is academic capability. So when we ask for your GPA, that is for this part, evaluation. But I can tell you that because your education background is already the past. So of course this is very important part, but this will not be the dominant criteria for admissions. So just give us your GPA, but I do suggest you make more efforts on like GMAT or your career development things. Okay, second question, I think our students can help answer that. There is one attendee asked us, why did the students from Montreal choose CEIBS? I think we can both have Cheryl and Hugo to share the experience. Why did you choose CEIBS?
Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl. I'm the student from Montreal from CEIBS. The reasons why I chose it, there's a couple of reasons. I was living in London at the time, and I was ready to do my MBA to gain some skills in general management. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, who was working in finance, but also ready for a big change. So we talked a lot about it, and we both thought that China was the area where there would be the most opportunities for us in the future, whether we decided to stay in China or go back either to Europe or Canada after. So we really believe that the opportunities here, there would be many more opportunities for us in China than if I were to stay in Europe and do my MBA there, for example. I chose CEIBS because obviously it was in China and also Shanghai, which is an incredibly exciting city to be in, probably the most exciting city in my opinion in China. But I chose CEIBS for the international program and the diversified student body, which I think is really the highlight of the course, is that it's so diversified and you get opinions from so many students from different countries all over the world. But also because I really wanted the Chinese insights from the Chinese students and from the faculty. I wanted to really be able to understand, like, what is the Chinese way of doing business? What are the cultural things that you have to sort of be aware of? Are there differences in the way people expect you to close a deal or to do business? And that was why I chose CEIBS. I also chose CEIBS for the network. Because it's got such an incredible reputation in China, the biggest and brightest stars of China are here at CEIBS. And for example, my boyfriend is now starting a company here. And I think that the network that I have here, not just the students, but also the faculty and their advice, is going to be really, really valuable to making that business successful. So that's why I'm in China.
Well, I'm going maybe in addition to what I said, Sharon, now, what is, from my point of view, what is clear with and what is easy with the CEIBS, it's there is no other alternative in China. Since you are clear in your mind that you want to stay in China, you want to work in China, or you know that maybe in the future you will be working for a Chinese company abroad, or you want to work for a top company within the to be high profile for we have seen the couple of logo of companies who are currently recruiting in CEIBS. There is no other possibility that you do not choose the CEIBS in China because it's only one top ranked in FT, and you can get recruited by a top company for very top position. And just as Roy mentioned before, when big leaders come to China to recruit, they make only one stop and they make it in CEIBS, and it's very clear. The reason why we have so many great leaders, as in the CMO of G of last week, or the global CEO of Dow Chemical, it was a few days before as well. In China, when they stop somewhere, they stop at CEIBS, and I can, as foreigner in China, I can tell you that it's work a lot with it really matter a lot with the HR division in China to recruit you when you will finish your MBA.
Hi, it's Cheryl again. I just wanted to add another thing about the MBA seats. If you're worried that it's maybe too much of a Chinese focus, it's not. So just so you know, it is. You will get everything that you will get from a Western MBA. The case studies, the discussions, all of this. But there's a China focus, which is an added value to the CEIBS MBA. And that's the insight that you will get from the students and from the little twists in the case studies. From their point of view, they sometimes look at cases very differently than we do. And that's the difference, is that you will get the same maybe HBS case that you'll study in many top MBA schools, but you will get also this added focus on what would be the difference if you were in China to this case. So.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience. Now let's move to the next question. I would love to go to China for my MBA. By the way, thanks for thinking about that, and I'm sure that's a very wise decision to get a feel for the culture and to learn about the business from a different viewpoint besides in America. My main concern is financing. How easy is it to get scholarships in it in order to attend CEIBS? Well, first, Chen has just mentioned about how cost-effective MBA in China is. Well, we are taking into consideration of the length of the program, in total, the situation is only half compared with the top 20 U.S. MBA schools. And also the living cost here, I can tell you, is pretty low. So it's 1/7 of compared with U.S. So, well, now for the school side, especially for 2012, I mean, the incoming intake, we increased the coverage of the scholarship pretty much. So now, on average, around 40% of our students can get scholarships. And especially for the international students, we have one called the Shanghai Municipal Government Scholarship. That's only for international students. And the CEIBS also provides excellence and also merit scholarship and women's scholarship, young talent, entrepreneurship scholarships. These are all for all the students. And also regarding the loans, this is thanks for asking this question, because this is one of our focus of our efforts recently. Now we have already been in touch with FEFSA, the one our attendee mentioned. We're in the process of making CEIBS listed on FEFSA. So hopefully we can get this ready very soon. But I'm not sure whether for the 2012 intake can catch that time. But hopefully next year students can use it. And also, especially for American students, you also can consider to get loans from some commercial banks in your home country.
Yes, this is where I just wanted to add a few things regarding the cost of living, especially for those people who are going to be financing their own MBA. I think the value of China is very important. You're going to be here almost 400 or 500 days since you're going to be arriving here to do the MBA. And the most important thing to think about, or one of the most important things other than your education, is your wallet, right? We have what I would say is a very good cafeteria here. Lunch here is about $2 US or $3 US. The same with your dinner, same with your breakfast. If you want to take a cab, a 10-minute ride or 15-minute ride, you're going to be spending around $3 US. I mean, these are, when you multiply it day per day, this is going to save you a lot of money. And at the end of the day, you're going to have much less stress when you're finishing your MBA. So I think that's an important part to consider. You also have your student dorms here, which are on campus and give you an alternative to spending a lot of money on apartments or on campus living abroad in the U.S. or Europe, which is much more expensive. So taking all that into account, I think it's a very good deal, very good value, and for those people especially using their own personal savings for it. Back to Ivy.
Okay, thanks, Roy. Yes, and also share one data with you. According to the career reports for class 2009, who graduated earlier last year, their average salary is, well, that's 600,000 RMB, so equal to more than 90,000 US dollars. So you can see this ROI is pretty high. And also we did a survey among these graduates, and their salary increase is above 100%. So you can see this is a really very, very good investment. Okay, let's move on to next question. Okay, thanks for asking me this question again. We have this question for every session. What level of Chinese language skill is necessary for the program? Okay, our students also mentioned that you know, they are sort of learning some Chinese here. Well, before you join CEIBS, we don't require any Chinese. Okay, so you can join us with 0 Chinese. Even cannot say 你好 or 再见. But if you would like to, so we have the intensive pre-course before the program officially starts. We call it pre-course. And after that, we have free Chinese courses for 1 whole semester year. So you can sit in this class depending on what level you are. And we do have one small requirement. That is for all the international students to got to pass a very preliminary level of Chinese examination before their graduation. But I can guarantee this is a very basic level Chinese. We do this since 2 years ago. And the main consideration is because now we have half of our international students stay in China after graduation. So especially for them, Chinese language is really a plus, okay, to facilitate their career development in China. So we encourage our students to learn some Chinese. And even though you go back to your home country, you will find this is also your advantage. And I'm sure all of our international students here in the panel today can speak some Chinese, right? Okay. So you can talk with them after this session and test their Chinese. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I'd like to answer this question together with Cheryl. Do the business schools in China help with finding careers internationally, or do they mostly help students pursue careers in China? What do China business schools have as resources to help students find careers from their home countries? Okay, I'd like to answer this question from the official side. There are several channels that our international students are placed internationally. As I mentioned earlier, we have half of them find jobs outside of China, and the part of them may go back to their home country or go to a third country in US or Europe. The main channels first, China market is already very international. We have over 60% of the Fortune 500 companies have operations in China. So with their expansion of their business, even back to their headquarters, they would like to hire some talents with China experience. Okay, so the MNCs, multinational national companies, they do hire CEIBS graduates to go back to their home country to work for their headquarters. And also, there's a very exciting trend is there are so many Chinese enterprises are going globally. So they do, really need the talent who know the international market as well as some China knowledge. So this is a very wonderful opportunities for our international graduates. And this accounts for a very big part of our graduates find the jobs outside of China. Besides that, and also this is a very good trend these years, we have more and more global level LDP, we call Leadership Development Programs, hiring from CEIBS. For these programs, they are very highly selected programs. They only hire students from very top ranked MBA programs in US or Europe and also Asia. I can tell you there are only very, very few MBA programs in Asia are cooperating with these programs now. So we're so very proud to see an increasing number of MBA graduates join these LDP programs at a global level. And last but not least, we have, CEIBS has the alumni pool of 11,000. We have the biggest EMB program in the whole world, and our MBA program is the biggest English program, full-time program in mainland China as well. So this is a very important resource for our graduates to find jobs as well. And Cheryl, would you like to share your or your classmates' experience of how they find their jobs outside of China?
Sure. I can't speak for myself because I plan to stay in China for a couple of years after I graduate. But a close friend of mine who's a Spanish student here came to CEIBS, but always planning to go back to Spain after graduating. He's already had some interviews with McKinsey and has found many opportunities back in Spain, which is already a really tough job market over there. As already mentioned, the LDP programs, because CEIBS is a top-ranked MBA program, we're sort of privileged enough to get offered, along with a couple of other top MBA schools, to apply for these LDP programs. So, yeah, those are all international, and I think after those programs, you can basically choose anywhere in the world where you want to settle. So, yeah, the job opportunities are not limited to China after you graduate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I want to add one thing. The international students, they say, many of them prefer to stay in China for 2 to 5 years to accumulate some Chinese experience, and then they will move on to go back to their home country, because this is their advantage and a way to differentiate themselves from their peers. Okay, because we don't have pretty much time to go, so we're only going to take 2 more questions. The first one is there an age limit? Because this attendee saw from our profile that the typical age range is 28 to 33. Well, I can tell you our student age range from 23 or 24 to 38. So age is not a very big concern for us. We may care more about how potential this applicant is. So don't worry about your age. But of course, with if you have a longer experience, we do hope you have a more even clearer career development plan after graduation. That's the only difference. Okay, the last question, I think that's more for our students. And I'm very glad we can conclude this session with this question. To the Americans, and also I think other 3 students can share as well on the panel, how have they adapted to life in China? Julie, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ivy. I think how I adapted to the life in China, well, I am Chinese, but I really don't know how to speak Mandarin. So what I really wanted to do is really step out of my bubble world in the world of San Francisco, the bubble of Silicon Valley in California. It's actually very hard to leave that area. But I decided that I really wanted to see what else is out there. It's really about being open-minded, really wanting to experience new things and see what else is out there. There's so many variety of things in Shanghai. Again, it's an international hub, so if you're tired of eating Chinese food every day, you could actually go down the street and there's a Mexican food restaurant, there's a burrito, a burger joint, there's a variety of French and Spanish restaurants out there for you to really explore. Also, there's actually a lot of expats here. There's a lot of people working here that are not from China that want to live in Shanghai and really explore the area here. So there's opportunities to meet people that are not Chinese from all over the world, that are starting their career there, they're expanding their experience here as well. So being able to adapt here, I have to say that it's because of the lot of options that are made available within Shanghai that I could really go back to eating my burger or eating a salad and not having to eat Chinese food. It really helps there. But also being open-minded and wanting to experience what you can experience in China. So there's a lot of people that take the time over the weekends to go out of Shanghai, go visit the small cities within China to really see that there's other things outside in the world than just Silicon Valley or the bubble of day-to-day work of walking into a corporate office and sitting at your desk and looking at a computer screen. So that's my experience there. And I'm very happy to have the opportunity to see what else is out there, because I feel that if I was to stay in San Francisco, I'll never have this opportunity to do that. I'll hand this over to Hugo to share his experience.
Hi everyone. What is I totally agree with what Julie just said now. And what is good in Shanghai that you are in China, but you're not in China really. So you can really still keep you still can live as I'm French and I still can have my not my hamburger but maybe my glass of wine and it's something that's really possible in Shanghai. It's very easy to have access and not too pricey. So I think you don't have to adapt too much when you arrive in Shanghai. Maybe you have to adapt a bit more if you go to Urumqi, which is the far east in China. But I'm sure if you already try to think about if I have to go to China or not, I assume that you already have traveled, and it's it's just another travel. Just very difficult to come to Shanghai and to live in Shanghai. Then I'm going to pass over to Daniel and to see how a guy from Switzerland can survive in China.
Yeah. Thanks, Hugo. This is Daniel again. I'm surviving very well here. So I think, yeah, Shanghai is really a very exciting city, and it's again, it gives you both, I think, a world, multi-million city, which is on the one side very international, but then still has a very strong Chinese touch, of course, and it will really very depend what are your interests. You can go very deep into the Chinese culture if you want, and join a lot of Chinese events, and I think your classmates, of course, will take you along, be it to KTVs or other parties they will organize, or also do some trips, visit some smaller villages which are close by the city, and get to know also the traditional culture, the older culture of China, which I think has a very, very long history. So I think this is really very exciting, and you have really a lot of opportunities. And about food, again, I mean, don't worry about that. You have all kinds of foods here, from Indian, U.S. food, pizzas, whatever you want. And actually, close to the school, there's also a big variety of that. And then again, going out, you can choose to spend a couple of evenings with expat communities, getting to know a lot of international people, or choose, like I said, spend time with the Chinese community. And I think so. This is really you have a very diverse possibilities here. So don't be afraid. You will definitely find a way to have fun here. Let me pass over to Cheryl now, maybe to also share a couple experiences she had here.
Hi again, everyone. Not much to add. I think it's as the others said, it's really you can dive into the culture as much as you want, or if there's some days that you just want your home comforts, you can go to your local cuisine restaurant and have your local food and meet tons of expats. But at the same time, if you want more of a China experience, of course that's available to you here. I think that's the sort of the beauty of Shanghai, is that it's a really multicultural city, and you can sometimes retreat when you don't want to be like facing everything Chinese that day. But of course you can get as immersed as you want. So yeah, for me, I've adapted. It's definitely useful just to pick up enough to be able to get around, enough Mandarin, but after your pre-course, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. I think that's all. I'll pass you back to Ivy.
Okay, thanks, Cheryl. I think we have answered pretty much of the questions. Sorry, we may not have more time for that, but we'll be answering, yes, on the watch later. But before we finish this part, I would like to let you know that our Spring Festival is coming, and that's the year for Year of the Dragon, and this is a very auspicious sign in China culture. So here we want to wish you
Happy New Year!
That's fantastic. This is Eric again, and just wanted to close off the session by thanking every single person on the CEIBS team and the CEIBS student teams who came and presented today and shared their experiences with us, to our community. Thank you all so much. And to our community who was able to attend today, appreciate your time. I know that we did go over just a little bit, but there's just so much great information. So thanks for sticking around for that, and thank you for the CEIBS team for the extra time. So a couple things that I just want to say. The first is, if you're interested in learning more about the program, first resource that you need to go to is the CEIBS website. You can go there by typing in www.ceibs.edu, and that's a great first place to start for your research. CEIBS also has an active MBA Watch presence, and I'm actually going to send the link one last time through our chat system, where this will direct you to our comment wall, where you will be able to interface with the CEIBS staff as well as some of the students who will be able to stick around for about 15 minutes more. So thank you again, guys, for that extra time. And just a last comment here as well. We did record this session today, so if you want to review some of the things that were said, you will have an opportunity to do so. We will post this on our Beat the GMAT YouTube channel in about 24 hours, as well as share this with the CEIBS team, who may have some other channels where you can find this recording as well. So thank you again to the CEIBS team. Really appreciate all the great information, and hope we can do this again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Bye.
Okay, all the best and Happy New Year.